Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your 5-minute break, and know that there's some facial equipment we work with. Typically the most common type of equipment piece is the facial steamer. This is the most relaxing part of the massage. Now when I was in cosmetology school, we didn't use this because what happened was our steamer had broke. Apparently from what I've heard, they plugged it in, they kept messing with it, it made some blinking noise, some flashing light, and then it shot a jet of boiling hot water out, and lo and behold, we don't use it. But I have used them before later on. They're really nice to use, they're satisfying. In your facial room, you'll have your steamer, you'll have your hot cabbie for your steam towels where you'll have to soak your towels, roll them up, put them in there, take them out when you're cleansing or removing a product off the client's face. Know that you'll have magnifying lamps, you might have a little container for extractors, tools like that, brushes, all that stuff. Your facial steamer will heat and produce steam, and warm steam that can be focused on the client's face or other areas. You can control where it's going. Steaming the skin helps to soften tissues, making it more accepting of moisturizers or other treatment products. It helps your peels go in deeper too. Steam helps to relax and soften the follicle accumulations such as comedones and clogged follicles, making them looser, easier to extract. If someone has oily skin, after you cleanse their face twice and you put a steamer on, it'll push that excess oil out to the surface, and guess what? You can get to wipe it off and clean it. That way that oil doesn't get to settle in there and harden. So steaming has many good things. It can make dry skin hydrated again because you're putting water back in. And most steamers work by having a heated coil that boils the water. The steam from the boiling water flows through a pipe that can be focused on the area to be treated, which is normally the face. You only want to use distilled water when doing this, because if you use tap water, all water is hard to a certain degree. If you're in an area where there's a lot of hard water, you're putting tap water in that machine, guess what? You're going to get a nasty mineral crust and it wrecks your best machine. I've known a salon owner that had 2 machines go completely bonkers because they were using tap water before and it wrecked them. So it only takes one time to wreck them. Play it safe, always use distilled water, never put essential oils in the steamer. People do that all the time and it's a no-no because what happens is the oil will not work the way you think it does. Instead of getting a nice herbal steam, what will happen is it can clog the machine and you'll actually get a burst of hot water that comes out, which is a safety hazard. You'll accidentally lobster cook your client if you're not careful. It can also cause sputtering, clogging, and all kinds of bad stuff. So you always want to use a professional steamer, but if you don't have a professional steamer, take some 2 towels, warm them up with warm water, press them on the face like you're doing a shave, and that will help the client get similar effect. Might not be the same, but you're getting something, and something's better than nothing. The next type of tool that you're going to use is a brushing machine, and this is a rotating electric appliance with an interchangeable brush that can be attached to a rotating head. They come in different textures and sizes. Larger and stiffer bristles are used for back treatment, and smaller and softer brushes are used for the face. Do not think if you take your back brush and put it on your face, you'll get a better result. You'll actually shred the client's face up to bits. The client comes to you for advice, but they also come to you because some of these things are not accessible. However, nowadays, companies like Dr. Dennis Gross are making at-home steamers, so clients are able to get a similar thing, but it doesn't feel as good when you're doing it yourself. It always feels better to have someone else do the treatment for you because you have that positive energy you're infusing into the client. And I've always found this out too, that cosmetologists that are interested in aesthetics or estheticians in general, they tend to be very earthy, very hippie-like, which is awesome. It's all about energy, infusing the client with the wellness. And then when you cover advanced aesthetics with the Advanced Aesthetic book, you go in detail of specific treatments that are used across the world to promote wellness and health. So with brushing, with mechanical exfoliation, you want to administer it during or after a steam. You can do it during the steam, you can do it after the skin has been steamed, and you're going to do a fairly thick layer of cleanser or moisturizer in order to force whatever you want to do in there, because brushing can be very aggressive. You just never want to do it on dry skin because it will tear it up. And the applied product provides a buffer for the brush so they do not scratch the face. If the face is dry, you're going to get scratched. Brushing helps remove dead skin cells from the surface, making skin look smoother and more even in coloration. It also helps stimulate blood circulation. You don't want to do brushing on clients that have used Retin-A, Differin, or Torozac, or other drugs that help thin or exfoliate the skin. Clients that have rosacea or sensitive skin or pustular acne will not benefit from this, and you don't want to use it on someone who's gotten an AHA peel because you'll shred the skin. If the client has acne too, just think of that. You don't want to be messing around and moving on oil and grease and pus all over their face because that's going to spread infection to them but to everyone else, and you're going to have to throw away your brush. So don't do it on someone who has open acne everywhere. You always want to clean and thoroughly disinfect your brushes between clients. I've not really seen brushes typically used too much, typically because they are a pain in the butt to clean. They're something that the client would usually use at home. Know that there's a skin suction machine and a cold spray machine that's used to increase circulation and to jet spray lotions and toners in the skin. Skin suction should only be used on non-sensitive, non-inflamed skin. Spray can be used on almost any skin type. Spray is often used to hydrate the skin and help clean off any treatments. It's almost like going to the dentist when you're cleaning the skin, getting a facial. You're going to suction out anything that's dead, and then you're going to spray off the stuff that you want to spray off to clean it. So electrotherapy and light therapy, we've talked about this in the electricity chapter. Galvanic high-frequency current are methods of electrotherapy where they're using currents to treat the skin. There's some different contraindications for electrotherapy. You don't want to administer electrotherapy to heart patients, pacemaker clients, or people with metal implements, pregnant clients, clients with epilepsy or seizure disorder, clients who are afraid of electricity or the electrical current, or clients with open or broken skin. And if you have any doubts, if you feel like you shouldn't do it, then please don't do it and do something else to get a similar effect. So know that high-frequency machines have only one electrode. Galvanic machines have two positive electrodes called an anode, which is the red plug and cord, and a negative electrode called a cathode, which has a black plug and cord. Galvanic current accomplishes two basic tasks. Disincrustation, the process of softening and emulsifying hardened sebum stuck in the follicle. Disincrustation is very helpful when treating oily areas and multiple comedones of the acne-prone skin. Disincrustation produces products or alkaline fluids or gels that act as solvents for solidified sebum. They make extraction easier with implements to impactions in the skin. So the impaction means it's clogged and it's going to extract out easier. You can extract with your fingers, so when you use cotton, you can do it that way with Q-tips. They make special tools. So know that when a negative pole is applied to the face over a disincrustation product, the current forces the product in deeper into the follicle. The current also produces a chemical reaction that helps loosen the impacted sebum. Both electrodes are wrapped in wet cotton. The active electrode is one that should be applied to the skin. The active electrode, in the case of disincrustation, the negative electrode is applied to oily areas for the face for 3 to 5 minutes. The positive electrode in this case is the inactive electrode, is held by the client in the right hand or attached to a pad that is placed in contact with the client's right shoulder. After the disincrustation has taken place, sebum deposits can easily be extracted with pressure. Know that iontophoresis is the process of using galvanic current to enable water-soluble products that contain ions to penetrate the skin. Products suitable for iontophoresis will be labeled as such by manufacturers. When negative current is applied to the face, products with negative ions are able to penetrate the skin, and when a positive current is applied to the face, product with positive ions are able to penetrate the skin. So positive lets positive go in deeper, negative current makes negative ions go in deeper. Many ampules and serum are prepared for iontophoresis. You always want to get hands-on training and advanced training in this. I also heard too that, I don't know if they mentioned this later on or something, but something about how you should, hold the electrode, or you shouldn't pass them, otherwise it might put a current through the client. I've never heard of that happening, but I guess it's like you don't want to find out. People always ask me to be electrocuted from this machine, and I don't think it's high enough to, but again, you don't want to find out with something like that. You do not want to be the one responsible for barbecuing your client, let's just put it that way. So know that microcurrent is a type of galvanic treatment using a very low level of electricity. It helps tone the skin, producing a lifting effect for aging skin that lacks elasticity. Your high-frequency current was discovered by Nicholas Tesla, and it's used to stimulate blood flow and help products penetrate. It works by warming tissues, which allow for better absorption of treatment products. Know that high frequency can also be applied after extraction for acne-prone skin because it has a germicidal effect, meaning it will kill the acne bacteria. They typically make the implements for high frequency out of glass, and they have different heads and different types. The glass contains various types of gas, such as neon, which light up when the electric is flowing through it. Unlike galvanic machine, high frequency require the use of only one electrode, and there's 7 different types of electrode used at high frequency. The most common is shaped like a mushroom, and it's referred to as a mushroom electrode. High frequency can be applied directly to the skin in a technique known as direct application. Another application method is known as indirect massage or Viennese massage, which involves the client holding the electrode during treatment, creating an electrical stimulating massage. You also want to know, right here it says, place passive electrode on the right side of the client's body only, never the left side, to avoid current flow through the heart. So I'm guessing if you do have a current flow, it's dangerous because you don't want to reset the heart. That's how a defibrillator works. Again, if a client has pacemaker, it's going to go zip, boom, and blow out. So again, with Viennese massage and indirect massage, when they're holding the thing, I don't really see it as much, typically because clients just want to sit there and relax. They don't want to be holding something. The next one is light therapy, and light therapy is using various LED lights to treat skin. You can sometimes get ones at home, such as the Dr. Dennis Gross eye mask. Some clients may have that already. So the light emitting diode LED treatment, it uses concentrated and flashing lights. They were developed to help with wound healing originally. In cosmetology, LED machines are used cosmetically to minimize redness, warm lower level tissues, and stimulate blood flow and improve smoothness. They are applied to improve acne-prone skin. The type of the color light will tell you the objective. So for example, red lights are used to treat aging skin and redness, and blue light is used for acne-prone skin. LEDs are very safe for most clients, but their use should be avoided in clients who have seizure disorder because of the types of lights and the intensity. It could be a trigger. The next type of treatment is microdermabrasion, and this is a type of mechanical exfoliation that involves shooting aluminum oxide or other crystals like gypsum crystals at the skin with a handheld device that exfoliates dead skin cells. Microdermabrasion uses a closed vacuum to shoot crystals onto the skin, bumping off old cell buildup that is then vacuumed up by suction. Microdermabrasion is popular because it produces fast, visible results. It is primarily used to treat surface wrinkles and aging skin. Performance of safe and effective microdermabrasion treatment requires extensive training. There's also microneedling, and there is a hydrofacial, which is a type of microdermabrasion that infuses the skin with all kinds of nutrients and products. Know that you always want to protect the client's eyes during any light treatment, because light can damage your eyes if they're looking right at it, like you wouldn't look at the sunlight. You want to put eye pads on the client that protect them from the glare of the reflecting lights. Saturate them with either distilled water or a toner, some kind of astringent you can just place on over the eye in a thick layer. Always check what your state board. Some states allow electrical equipment, some don't. And know that there's two types of facial treatments that they allow, not that they allow, that exist. There's preservative or corrective. So preservative will maintain the health of the facial skin by cleansing and correctly increasing circulation, relaxing the nerves, and activating the skin's glands and metabolism through massage. Corrective facials will correct certain facial skin conditions such as dryness, oiliness, comedones, aging lines, and minor conditions of acne. Know that with other forms of massage, facial treatments help to increase circulation, activate glandular activity, relax nerves, maintain muscle tone, and strengthen weak muscle treatments. Always, be quiet with the client. You don't want to talk during a facial. You never want to constantly badger your client, talk to them, because what that does, it takes away from the relaxing effect of the facial. Ask yourself this when you're looking at the client: is the skin dry during analysis? Is the skin dry, normal, or oily? Are there fine lines and creases? Are there comedones or acne present? Are there dilated capillaries? Is the skin texture smooth or rough? Is it even? Follow the steps in your book for the basic facial application. It's pretty much cleanse, tone, analyze, treat, moisturize, SPF, and then follow up. It's very similar to other consultations where you want to consult, do the service, and then follow up with selling a product or recommending a product. So know that there are some special problems. Dry skin is caused by insufficient flow of sebum, as we learned. It can be the facial for dry skin helps correct this condition, and it can be given with or without electrical current. The use of electrical current produces better result. You can also use lactic acid. With oily skin, they have a special facial for that. You want to typically remove excess oil but not over dry the skin. You want to balance it. You're going to be using a seaweed product. Always be self-aware of how you look. You don't want to get a product in a client's eye that'll burn. If you have a chemical peel and you drop it in their eye, they can go blind. Or if you burn them once, they're typically not going to come back because it will feel bad. You always want to be self-aware, and always, when in doubt, ask the client, hey, how does this feel? Ask them once. If they say it feels good, just continue. So know that with acne-prone skin, the dermatologist, if you send them to a dermatologist, will tell you what to perform and how often to perform the facials. Follow those guidelines. Because skin with acne is infectious, you always want to wear protective gloves so you don't spread that bacteria. Nothing's worse than having an open cut in your finger and having someone else's pus get in there. It's kind of gross, but that's, what happens. Home care is imperative. The client has a regimen. The key word is program. Because it's a program, they have to use the products to maintain the facial. Facials will only go so far if the client is not maintaining their skin at home, and they have to understand that. So always block out 30 minutes to explain proper home care for a client. Typically, what you'll do is always add in, it shouldn't take you 30 minutes, it would take 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Extend your booking, don't overbook so you're backed up and you just shove them out the door, keep someone else waiting, and that person's really impatient because they're rushing, and that puts you through a horrible situation. Also know that the use of aromatherapy is very important. Aromatherapy uses essential oils, and aromatherapy is a therapeutic use of plant aromas for beauty and health treatment. It can benefit a client physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You can use it such as aromatherapy candles in your spa room as long as it's not a fire hazard. You want to make sure the aroma is gentle and not overpowering. Some people have diffusers. Some spas sell the essential oil for the client to use at home. Know that you can use them in a lot of ways. You can sell bath salt if you're doing a treatment on a client, or you have a spa that has baths. You'll do special scented salts that release the aroma, and that's very therapeutic. Some herbal steam rooms, you'll drop some eucalyptus oil on the floor, and when it steams, if the steam is not infused with an essential oil, that creates a nice aroma for them. Know that the caution box, aromatherapy is sometimes used as a healing modality by natural healers who have extensive training in aromatherapy. Cosmetologists should never attempt to perform healing treatments for aromatherapy if you're not trained. You can also get an aromatherapist certification to use your cosmetology license or esthetician license, and that way you can make your own products or use additional treatments. So again, the cosmetology license is going to open one door, and your additional certifications will open more doors. Basically, with this book, follow your procedures and your guide. I'll do another add-on supplement at some later point going over specific types of facials and any specific guidelines. I know it's a lot to take in, it's a stressful chapter, but it does get a lot easier. Practice on yourself before you practice on someone else. Practice on friends first before you practice on a client. So with that being said, if you have any questions, comment down below about this chapter. It's a tough read, it's a lot of information at once, but it does get better from here. So this is it for chapter 23, and get ready to have some fun, because in the next chapter we're going to get colorful and fun and crazy, and we're going to be talking about facial makeup, which is the funnest and most subjective chapter in this entire book.